Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to my world, folks. Welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. Everybody needs a little TLC, and I am Cedric LaFleur, your host, and this is the Thursday edition of Talk Leadership with Cedric. Talk Leadership with Cedric is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Now, our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. Our guiding leadership principle is the law of consistency, which says motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you going and growing. So you have to develop the good habits that lead to success. And just showing up is 80% of success. See, some people just don't show up. So you could beat them out pretty easily by consistently showing up. Now, the boss, Bruce Springsteen, once said, "A time comes when you need to stop wanting to be the man or woman." Ooh, let me start it over again with that. A time comes when you need to stop waiting for the man or woman you want to become and start being the man or woman you want to be. So tonight we have another dynamic leader in studio with us, and who is showing up consistently. Now, I like to do a proper introduction of my guest, so let me do that. Miss Obioma Levi Johnson is our guest tonight. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited that you're here and looking forward to the conversation. So let me do a proper introduction of our guests. Ms. Obioma Levi Johnson is a certified speaker and leadership coach under the John Maxwell Leadership Team. She has held various positions as principal consultant, engineer, and project manager in the energy industry for over a decade now. She collaborates with C-suite executives and leaders in multinational and institutional companies to deliver leadership strategies on how to leverage technology, advanced analytics, and applied data science to support and strengthen their people, operations, and investments. She is the co-founder of Grace Link Foundation, which provides mentorship, educational assistance, and support to empower young people and the underrepresented. That's a noble cause. It's a great cause. She has received worldwide recognition for her writing in the areas of human development in the society and has written several technical papers on this topic. Her passion includes working with students and young professionals as a mentor in organizations such as Lean in Energy, Women in Engineering programs at University of Texas, Austin, and the Texas Girls Collaborative Project. She received a Bachelor's of Technology in Geology from the Federal University of Technology, a Master's of Science in Petroleum Engineering from the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and an HBS core credentials for readiness from Harvard Business School. That's right, Harvard Business School. She is married with 3 children and enjoys spending time with her family and traveling. So again, let's welcome Miss Obioma Levi Johnson to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, I just want to dive into the conversation because I'm sure you're going to dazzle our audience with some powerful stuff. See, folks, we bring some intellectuals on the show sometimes. So tonight we have us a great intellectual in the house with Miss Levi Johnson. So tell us, I read your bio, but our audience normally likes to hear from you about your journey to leadership and how did you get to where you are today?
um, Thank you again. I was born and raised in Nigeria. The family of 4 girls. My dad. I lost my mom when I was, quite young, when I was 6, and my dad was an academic. So for him, it was important to give us the best education that he could as females, and bear in mind that in Nigeria, even now, women are more like women are seen but not necessarily heard,
Mhm.
so had given us that education was key. That was one of his beliefs, education is key. So I grew up having that at the back of my mind. He didn't raise me to be a girl that he was trying to raise to be a man. He just raised me as a person that could thrive to be the best that they could be. So all the values and everything that I would say helps me today to thrive, even when I mentor young people, are those things that my dad imbibed in me while growing up. So having that in mind, even when I lost my dad as a teenager, I always knew that I wanted to advance, like in my education. So graduating from my first degree was not enough. I wanted to pursue an advanced degree. And I decided to move to Alaska for my degree in petroleum engineering. Now, half of the people in my family thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
Why
I
would you
was gonna say,
go?
why Alaska?
Yeah, why would you go from the tropics to the Arctic? And
Yeah.
at that time, I didn't know. They're like, Alaska, and this is like Alaska. Like, forget your gallon of water in the trunk, and it's
Yeah.
really cold in a few hours.
Yeah.
Alaska, at times you may have to wear 2 pairs of jeans to run to a coffee shop to have a discussion class. So I didn't know what I was going in for. Honestly, I did not. So it was a huge shock to me when I got there. I moved in, I believe I came to Alaska sometime around August. So it wasn't that cold. So I'm like, what are you talking about with my sweater? It's not that cold. And they're like, okay, wait, just hold on.
It's
Like, it's coming. So, and the winter came, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But again, that was an experience that also helped to shape me. Just being strong, being resilient. And shortly after my education, I got a job in the oil and gas industry. I've been doing that, or I did that for over a decade. And last year, I decided to take a break to focus on more of the initiatives that I do have in Gracelink Foundation, and also to build my business in speaking. Doing that, which for me is fulfilling my purpose, impacting the lives of young people and doing it on a higher level as an individual and not necessarily, under another company. Yeah.
Wow. So I guess you learned the value and the power of research when you realize that, oh, the winter is horrible here in Alaska.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so tell our audience something fun or interesting about yourself.
Oh, I'm really a boring person, or I like to think of myself as a boring person. But when I was much younger, probably about 13 or 14, um, a friend of mine and the sister, we had a girls group, more like Destiny's Child on a budget. We would go on stages to perform and and all of that. And I'm so glad the group died a natural death, really, because in my dad's generation, you're either talking about being a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer. Like, they're not going to accept anything less than that. And I can just imagine my dad saying, you mean I'm paying all these school fees, for you to be a singer? So I'm so glad I didn't have to have that conversation, and that's something I love doing even till date. I love to sing, I love to maybe be on stage and
So then, all right. So let's tell the audience a little bit about that. So before the show, I said, "Are you ready to sing?"
yes, you
Right?
said that.
Not even knowing that you are a natural singer. See, I just picked that vibe up, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
toward the end of the show, folks, stay tuned for the concert.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Um, so I know you like to work in the youth space, right?
Yes.
Which is fun. It can be fun. So my question is, why the youth?
Yeah. I just love the energy, like with the young people. When I look at them, I see a lot of potential. And being someone that grew up with a lot of strong, I would say, female influences around me, people that really has inspired me while growing up, I think is an area where we need to focus on. I mean, we all know that empowering the youth is empowering the future. But the thing is, we don't do a lot of that. Governments don't do a lot of that. Institutions don't do a lot of that. Companies don't even do a lot of that with their young professionals. And if you don't do that, you're losing the future, because these are the people that are going to take over. So it's important to start early, to build them up, give them those leadership skills that they need, help to build their confidence, help them to discover who they are, help them to develop on that so that they can deploy. But what I see happen these days is a lot of young people, and statistics have shown this, 1 out of every 3 young persons doesn't really have an adult figure that they can trust, they feel can give them the guidance that they need. And growing up, I know that my mindset and my environment shaped me into who I am. So you can't really think it if you can't even see it. You can't even think about it, So I strongly believe that is important to start early with them, build up their confidence, help them discover themselves, build up that self-esteem. And that would help them to make the right lifestyle choices, growing up. So that's really one of the reasons why I love being around young people and just impacting their lives.
Okay. Oh, that's always fun and awesome, and helping them really see the impossible,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
So what separates your business from other businesses in this industry? Because there's a lot of different leadership development, entrepreneurs, organizations, and all that type stuff.
Yes. I would say it's just my core values, really. It
Mhm.
comes naturally. It's my core. It's who I am. Just knowing that firsthand, I can make that impact. And again, I genuinely care. I care about seeing that my mentees succeed. I care about seeing that they are the best versions of themselves. I care about seeing that they can believe in themselves. So it's really at the core of my business. I can't really speak for others, but I know that I do have a unique experience. And oftentimes, just telling people my experience is enough to encourage them. And that is what I try to do with the youth. I
Mhm.
made it. I know that you can. In spite of whatever challenge you face, you can. And I try to share my story as a way to encourage them and to make them see the best in themselves.
Wow, that's awesome.
Mm.
Um, so as you think about, your career as an engineer, the value and the power you can bring to the engineering sector,
Yeah,
and I'm sure your parents would be proud of that. But you decided to also become an entrepreneur.
yeah,
And what is it that made you say, you know what, I really want to own my own business?
yeah. I think I got to that point really where it wasn't about the paycheck anymore. I just wanted to make sure that the work that I do would have a direct impact on people. Like
Mm,
firsthand, I can see my mentees, go from being shy to being more outspoken, to standing up for themselves, to being comfortable in their own skin. So things like that, I could firsthand just see the impact of the work that I was doing. And that was one of the main drivers. Of course, in addition to having more time for my family, being able to plan my life around my family, which is very important to me. So I think these are the things that made me know that it was time to go into entrepreneurship.
wow. Okay. I really I really do like that. I also like when you said earlier the difference between you and other organizations are your core values, right?
Yeah.
And well, that's awesome. So, what is the best part or the most fun part of being an entrepreneur?
Oh, what is the best part of it? Just having, just calling the shots, I would say. If I don't feel comfortable about it, I'm not going to do it. If I don't believe in it, I can't tell people to do something that I don't even believe in. So
Mhm.
is important for me that when I'm telling people, this is something I've tried, or this is something I know people have tried and it has worked, I really believe in it. So that's one of the core, that really, that's one thing that makes it so rewarding for me. just knowing that I'm not doing something, more like sharing my own vision and being comfortable in that vision, because it's something that I've lived, it's something that I've experienced, I've seen other people live. So that's really what I would say makes it all worth it at the end of the day.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, having that freedom and flexibility, having the ability to say, you know what, this doesn't match up with who I am, my core values, what I believe in. So I'm gonna pass on that opportunity, right? But let me
Absolutely.
do a follow-up question on that, because so you bring up some great points there, but sometimes people find it hard to say no. They just hear the word as opportunity, right?
Mhm.
And then they, even though it goes against who they are, they do it. So in that context, how should people evaluate those things? Or do you think it's a good idea to take an opportunity even though you don't believe?
Is a tricky question, but honestly, I would say, if as an individual, as a business, if you identify what your why is,
Mhm.
what your what your how, then it helps steer you in the right direction. Because you know, what was my why? You know, this is what I want to achieve. This is the big vision that I have for my business. This is what I would want to do. Then that makes it, I would believe that would make it somewhat easy. So even when it seems like, oh, it's a great opportunity, does it line up with my vision? Does it line up with my core values? And those are the things that can help one to make, like to make such decisions.
Yeah. So understanding your why, your how, and your what will help you be able to make those decisions and make them very easily, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Um, so how have your priorities changed from when you first started your business, right? You knew that, hey, when I started, I'm going down this path. This is what I'm going to do. And along the way, you learn some things. So how has your priorities changed since then?
Oh, they changed a lot. Before, when I started, it was about me. Like, oh, I have to be successful in this. Then I had the doubt. Why would people listen to me? The whole imposter syndrome, and am I gonna be successful at this? And things like that. So I dealt with a lot of that. It was more like a me versus me battle. Like
Hmm.
in my head.
Yeah.
But over time, I knew that it wasn't about me. It was bigger than me. It's more like being a good steward, like of the gifts that I have, and being able to use that. And I always make reference to John Bever's. I listened to a teaching of his, and he said, where he referred to God as a capitalist. And I agree with him, because even the gifts of the talents you were given, what did you do with, like what did you do with the gifts?
Hmm.
So that's one thing that helped make me shift my perspective from, it's really not about you. If you have a gift, if you have something you're passionate about, if you feel this is your purpose, if you feel this is something that can help someone else, so why not? It goes beyond me. It's now about the other person. So that really helped. And over time, my perspective just changed. It's not about you. It's really about using the gifts that you have to change the lives of others. Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. It's much bigger than you.
absolutely.
And you're right. When you start off, it's about you. And then these lessons start to come, and
Absolutely.
reflection starts to come, and you realize, wow, I have a greater calling. Um, and that's good. So if I could press the button right now and the doorbell would ring, ding dong, and it was one of your clients walking through the door,
Yeah.
what would they say about you and a service that you provide?
Oh boy. I really don't know, but I do hope I do hope they say that I genuinely care. Like our friend John Maxwell would say, people don't care what you know, right?
Hmm.
So they know what you care.
Hmm.
So I really hope they know that genuinely, or they can say that genuinely, I care about seeing that change in them. I care about seeing them be the best versions of themselves. I care about making them be people of value that can add value to others. I
Yeah.
hope they say that. And I think every other thing is around that, because if you genuinely care, it's easy to earn the trust, it's easy to influence someone, because now they know that you really care about, seeing them move from point A to point B and hold their hand through that process. So I hope they say that. I'll be glad if that's what they say, but I have no idea. You may have to ask one of my clients.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me get one because I found one. So, we all have challenges, right? Doing this entrepreneurial journey. When we initially sit and we dream, close our eyes and we dream about the journey of being an entrepreneur, owning our own business, running it, growing it. All we see is a bunch of customers coming, making a whole lot of money. We're doing the stuff we want to do. We're talking in Yankee Stadium. We are selling out this arena, that arena. We have a mastermind, all of those things, right?
Yeah.
So now, let us come to reality. What's been some of your biggest challenges during this entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, a lot, is a lot. And I've just grown to know that, every failure is an opportunity to learn. I've made mistakes in my hiring where I've had to, hire the wrong person, which cost me resources, cost me time. And is really difficult to get people that buy into your vision. I would always say, even for companies, the reason why is important to make sure that you keep those good employees, people, at least have the heart of the business, like always with them, is just being able to get people that share in the vision, that's really key. And I think the failure is around just finding those people that share in the vision, people that even when they represent me or they're doing something is in my voice and not necessarily another person's. That has been my biggest challenge. I mean, I've gone through that, and now I think I'm beginning to have the right team, know the right people to do certain stuff. But I mean, is really not easy, because every day comes with its challenges. But one thing I tell myself, I wouldn't want to not learn from it. If I make a mistake, I wouldn't want to make it again. Just look for a way to pivot, like to be flexible enough to know that, this didn't work. What would be my plan B, and be able to navigate through it. So I can't really point to one, but I'll say the hiring, and again, just the day-to-day challenges that come, with accounting and with just marketing and all of that is a lot of challenge, but just taking it one day at a time, and hoping that with time, at least things will ease up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand that. So, Obi, leaders come in all different packages with different strengths. We all have different talents. Some have better talents than others. You can sing better than me.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, trust me. If you had a group, you can sing. Yeah, nobody has asked me to be in their group, not to sing at least. All right. So, what strengths do you feel are important to be a successful leader?
Yeah, there's so many great qualities that a leader should have. But I would say this, I would like to put it in two buckets. And I would say it's important to have character, and it's important to have competence. The reason I say that, you have a lot of people that do have the character, but they don't have that competence. And you have a lot of people that are competent, but they don't have the character. And as a leader, when I talk about character, good listening skills, being able to relate with your team, being able to know that it's not about me, but being able to, also develop the leaders in others. Competency, of course, building on your skills, being hungry to learn, and how do you take criticism when people criticize you? Is it an opportunity to go back to the drawing board and see what you did wrong and do it right, and things like that? So I'll say those are very important. Let me just put a scenario out there. Assuming, let's say, you're going to New Orleans, and you're walking into the plane, and here is Obi in the cockpit as a pilot. What would be the first thing that will come to your mind? What would you tell me? Now, you know, I'm a coach, you know, I'm a STEM advocate.
Yeah, I'm like, well, wait a minute, what are you doing in there?
Absolutely. So, and I go, you know, I heard about this. I know that, you know, the pilots, they take like 5 years to get trained, and I just got trained in 1 week and I'm ready to fly. You probably dash out like, oh, I forgot something, I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
I'll definitely be right back.
You probably like brace up for it and like read, you know, like just pray the whole 45 minutes from Houston to New Orleans. Or, you know, so I could be a person of good character, but if I'm not competent, then even people that trust you could get uncomfortable in trusting, you know, like responsibilities to you, things like that. So I believe as a leader, in as much as the person is competent, you should also have character. In as much as the person has character, you should also have competence. And that's one thing that I would say our generation, my generation, at times we get wrong. We feel is microwave stuff, you know, I'm ready to deploy. We don't spend the time to discover, we don't spend the time to develop. I look up to you as someone that, you know, like has achieved a lot. And I'm not going to be you overnight, you know, like just being patient to learn. That's
Mhm.
something a lot of young people don't want to do today. You know, we just want to go for it. We want to get there fast as we can. But it's like a foundation. So, what is that foundation on? That's what ensures that you can build and have a, you know, something that can last over the test of time because you have a solid foundation. And that's the way I see it. And I just say, you know, if you have that competence, spend the time to learn, stay hungry, build on the skills and also the character, which is important, then you can, of course, influence people because they know that you have that character. Yeah.
Yes. Well, so folks, just this section right here, you should, if nothing else, you should rewind this later and play this over and over again and share it with somebody, right? I love what she said. There's two characteristics that strong leaders have, and it's character and competence. And you may know someone that's out there who you follow as a leader. They have the character, but they don't have the competence, right? So what do you think of those people, right? How do you handle those people? Do you continue following them, right? Now, take the opposite side. You may have someone that is very competent, but they don't have the character. Now, I know you know a person right now. You're sitting here, you're watching this, whether you're watching live or you're watching a replay. You're sitting there. You as soon as you heard her say this, it popped. That person popped in your head. Now you need to just to make sure that that person is not you. All right. So let's keep going. So many times, new entrepreneurs give up. They throw in the towel. They had the dream, they had the vision, but it didn't work out. Like you said, they want it fast, right?
Mm.
So it's not happening fast. So they decide that they want to give up and throw in a towel. What advice would you give someone who is right now
Mm.
questioning whether they should give up or not?
Mm. I would say don't, you know, is like we just said, is really about building that foundation. Is really about being flexible enough to know when something is not happening. That doesn't mean I should throw in the towel, but should I use a different strategy? Which is one of the qualities that a leader should have. And I think even before anything else, just having that self leadership is really important. I think a lot of people give up because in as much as they've identified their pain points, they really don't know the source of it. So my pain point could be the source of my pain point could be that there's a certain maybe image that I want people to have of me. And it's frustrating because I can't get there. Maybe people should think that I should be this successful and I'm not there yet. So a lot of our pains really is from the outside, is what the expectations from others, is not really something we're going through, but because we feel this is how the perception that people will have about me. So that frustrates us, like as entrepreneurs. So I would say just be patient, go back to again your why, and make sure that it's not anything on the outside is influencing you. Have that strong self-leadership. It's really important to have it, because that's what will make you to keep going. That's what will make you to be flexible enough to know that, okay, this is not working. I should probably pivot to, a different strategy. That's what will make you be open to coaching and mentoring, and be willing to learn. Really know that this is somebody that has walked this road and I would want to learn from them so I don't make the same mistakes. I mean, as business owners, I feel mentorship and coaching is really very important, because it's something that can just save us, days and months and years of toiling, because we have somebody that can guide us based on the experiences.
Yes.
So I would say employ all of this, get a good coach, get a mentor, build on your self-leadership, don't give up, ensure that it's not outside influences. This is really something you want to do. Keep focused, not really about what people think is success, but about you. Define your success for yourself. What is success to me? Not what my friend is doing or what some other person that is a speaker and coach as myself, but what is, if you define it, then I think that would take the pressure off and help. But don't give up, just keep going at it, and you can always navigate to a different approach or a different strategy. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is a great advice. So thank you very much for sharing that. So Obi, well, you don't know, but we do have a segment on the show that's called Would You Rather.
Oh.
So we're gonna play a little round of Would You Rather.
Okay.
All right, so let me get my Would You Rather sign. All right, so we are now in the Would You Rather round. So,
Okay.
would you rather meet your great grandparents or your great grandchildren?
Whoa. My great grandchildren.
Great grandchildren. All right. Would you rather have a life rewind button or a life pause button?
Wow. I'll probably have a rewind.
Rewind?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you can say, all right, I'm gonna go to Alaska, but I'm gonna bring some heavier clothes.
I have a rewind, but I hope I can be able to fast forward, like some parts of it. So when I get to a place I don't want to be, I fast forward to.
Okay. And audience, I forgot to tell you, you can put your answer, you can play along with us. Just put your answer in the comments and I'll pop them up on the screen. So would you rather no one show up at your wedding or no one show up at your funeral?
Whoa. Wedding.
Wedding. All right. Would you rather be stuck in an elevator or on a ski lift?
Elevator. I'm scared of heights. Elevator. Yeah, like I don't want to look down and see like, like a valley. No. So
Yes.
probably elevator, like my feet is on something level. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, you may be 30 feet in the 30 stories high, but you don't really know that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. So would you rather go to dinner alone or to a concert alone?
Probably dinner.
Dinner?
Dinner alone. Yeah.
All right. Would you rather be an adult your whole life or a kid your whole life?
Oh, a kid. Adulting is just a fraud. Kid. And my daughter, she's like, I can't wait to grow up. I'm like, you don't know what you're asking for.
Yes. Absolutely. So would you rather fulfill your biggest wish or resolve your biggest regret?
I think my biggest wish.
Biggest wish?
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather own your own private island or your own private jet?
Oh, my jet, probably.
Jet.
Yeah.
All right. Couple more. Would you rather be a pirate or a ninja?
A ninja?
A ninja?
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather continue on with your current life or restart your life?
Oh, the current one.
Current one. All
Yes.
right. Last one. Would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
Hmm. 100,000 in real money.
100,000 in real money. All right. See, I'm going to take the million in Amazon gift cards because, I love seeing those Amazon boxes show up every day.
What? Yeah, I do though, but I just feel with 100,000 cat, I'll probably be able to diversify, not just buy stuff. Maybe I
Mhm.
could invest in something else.
Sure.
I mean, I wish it was a little up, like 500,000, but yeah, I'll probably take a chance with the cash in hand. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Amazon has everything. So I won't be surprised at one point you'll be able to take those
Well,
gift cards and invest.
that's
See?
true, actually. Yeah, that's true.
Jeff Bezos is making sure that he has everything.
Yeah.
So, Obi, if someone wanted to get in contact with you, what's the best way to do that?
I would say my LinkedIn. I'm there as myself, Obioma Levi Johnson. Just reach out to me on LinkedIn, and we can stay connected.
Okay, awesome. And folks, her LinkedIn is scrolling, her LinkedIn profile is scrolling across the screen, the link rather. And I'm also going to put it in the chat so that you can just click on the link and pull her up on LinkedIn. I'm going to also go over to our LinkedIn live feed, and I will put that there as well. And you can just look her up, actually, just by her name on the screen. But I'll put the link there just because that'll make it easier for you. So let me just paste that real quick here. All right, so that's posted on all social media and on LinkedIn as well, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, and you can watch all segments of Talk Leadership with Cedrick. Today, we're talking with Ms. Obioma Levi Johnson, and she's she's an engineer. Two, she's also the owner of her own business, and she uh, Grace Link Foundation is the organization that she founded, and she works with youth, trying to provide mentorship, educational assistance, and support to empower young people and to empower those who are underrepresented. Right. So why don't you follow her and click on her link? So Obiama, let me ask you a question here. So let's say nobody's home. The husband's gone. The three
Mhm.
kids are gone. The dog's gone. If you have fish, they're gone too. And it's just you at home. What dessert are you going to eat?
Whoa, probably ice cream.
Ice cream? What
Yeah,
flavor?
vanilla.
Vanilla?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite brand?
Oh, I love Bluebell. Um,
Blueberry, you know it.
yeah.
Awesome. And since you're right here in
Oh yeah,
in
Texas.
Texas, you better say Bluebell, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Obi, why is it important for people to always to continue to grow?
Yeah. Wow. I growth is I feel let me just say this. Oftentimes I look at myself like a tree, and
Mhm.
as a tree, if you don't grow, you cannot produce fruits. So I believe that growth is important because if you don't grow, you can't produce fruits. And what is a fruit? A fruit is a gift. You give people. The tree is a shade that you give people. So it's really important to grow, and there's so many things that can hinder us from just getting there. At times we're not just hungry enough to grow. At times we're hungry enough, but we have weeds around us, which
Mhm.
are like maybe like friends and people that make you think that you shouldn't grow in a particular area. At times we need pruning, which to me is like just humility. At times we have to be humble enough to be able to grow, humble enough to learn from people that have done it, humble enough to say, I don't know this. Please, can you show me the way? And at times, with growth, if there's no nurturing, not even at times, all the time, if there's no nurturing, if you're not feeding yourself, and feeding yourself is feeding your mind, not like food, but what are you feeding yourself? What's the information that's coming in? How are you improving on your skills? How are you learning? Things like that. So for me, growth is important. And then it's the only way you can get to that point where you want to get. That's the only way you can know how far you can go. If you don't grow, you can never know. And just being that tree, I know that for me to be able to produce fruits, I have to grow. For me to be able to impact people, I have to grow. For me to be able to be confident in the person that I am, I have to grow. And I have to nurture it, guard it jealously. How am I feeding my mind? How am I feeding my character? How am I feeding those things I know can help me get to that point?
Sure.
Very
Yeah,
important to
absolutely.
grow. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know that the law of intentionality says, right, growth doesn't just happen. You must be
Absolutely.
intentional. And
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, folks, I'm going to lean in like my good friend Damian Johnson. I'm going to lean in. I'm going to hit my glasses here. You see, you are going to get older.
Mm,
It doesn't mean you're going to grow
mm.
here. Doesn't mean you're going to grow, but you are going to get older. Time is going to pass.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you're going to grow. So you have to be intentional about it.
Absolutely.
The worst thing that could happen is you grow old and you're 75, but you think like it's still 1975.
Mm,
You see?
yep.
And you don't want that to happen. So tell us one or two things that you've learned about yourself from being a business owner.
I did honestly, I knew I had like perfectionist tendencies. I kind of knew. And it's sad because I have a little girl who is 8 and I see those traits in her. Like erasing, I'm like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, no, the A has to be this way. I'm like, that's good enough. I kind of knew that because, where I don't know if it's because of my engineering background or science, where the precision has to be, 0.00001, you know. But over time, and especially now as an entrepreneur, I've learned that it doesn't have to be a 100%.
Mhm.
It can be a 90. The point is, of course, we talk about the 80-20 rule. What effort are you putting in and what output are you getting out? And oftentimes just sitting there trying to get things perfect may make you not to even get there at all.
Right.
So not that I'll be nonchalant, but just knowing that it doesn't have to be perfect and it's not perfect for anyone. You just learn as you grow, and being able to delegate. I had to learn this early on. I may be great at one thing, but that doesn't make me great at so many things or a few things. So when do I know that my skill is lacking and I need to invite someone else to come on board? Would be it a partnership, be it, just a collaboration, whatever it is, but just being open to knowing that I can't get to full capacity just being me. I would need people to help in the vision. I'll need people to help me grow. I'll need people to get me to the next level. So I'll say that's one thing that I've really learned, just being able to delegate, being able to not being so much of a perfectionist and, just getting the job done. Yeah.
Yes. Well, what I like to tell people around this point is it doesn't have to be, the outcome doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Your effort has to be 100%.
Absolutely.
You see,
Mhm.
and there's a difference right there. If you wait to let's say you're giving 100, you're giving 80%, and you're trying to get to 100% outcome. Well, one is you're not going to get there, right?
Yeah.
But let's say you are so focused on this thing being perfect, but you're trying to do that because you only put in 80% effort because you started doing it yesterday and it's due today.
Yeah.
You're not going to get there,
Yes.
right? So you have to be 100% all the time your project, your service, that thing that you're trying to do doesn't have to be perfect in order for you to deliver it.
Absolutely.
And that's the difference, and that's the key right there. So knowing what you know now, is there something you would have done differently versus when you first started?
Yeah, a lot of things. I can't even say a few things. A lot of things. I've made so many wrong decisions. I've done things a certain way and they didn't go that way. Yeah, of course, a lot of things. But again, I just take it as I don't want to say a fun ride, but I try to see the best in everything. I feel is not it's something you can always navigate your way out of. That's the way I see it. A lot of mistakes that I made, I mentioned the hiring, like decision that I did. That was a wrong mistake, with my accounting, just keeping everything in order, and again, just not being so much of a perfectionist, things like that. Those are things that I've learned from and have helped me be better, in those areas. So looking back, yeah, I wish I didn't make those mistakes. But again, it has helped me because now I can talk to people about, I did this, just make sure you have all of this, lined up so you don't make the same mistakes. Yeah.
Yes. Well, hopefully you don't make the same mistakes,
I
right?
hope so. That's what I told myself. No, don't make the mistake twice. So now I know. Yeah.
Yes, and we both know that experience is not necessarily the best teacher. It's evaluated experience that's the best teacher,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So a couple more questions for you. Um, what's been the best thing that's happened to you this year so far?
So many good things, but the big part is just having just that self-discovery journey. I think I got to the point where I had a better appreciation for just being alive, and being able to fulfill my purpose and just being healthy, the things that we would ordinarily, overlook. I think COVID was a great reminder that, people are dying, people are hurting, and just each day I'm healthy or my family is healthy is something to be grateful for. So I have a deeper sense of gratitude right now. Every day that I'm healthy is a gift. Being alive, and that is the best thing. Getting to that point where I could really appreciate the little things, the things that we usually take for granted, and being able to live in the moment, knowing that, tomorrow is not guaranteed. People are dying, people are hurting, but I'm just one of the fortunate people that are here today. And I'm grateful that I got to that point in my life.
Wow. Well, that is awesome. So my final question for you is this. If there was a book that was written about you, right?
Yeah.
What would the title be? And what would they say what would it say in the summary in the back of the book about you?
Yeah. If I like to think of it this way. If there's a book, it will probably be a survival manual, like survival guide, how to survive minus 48 degrees temperature from, the tropics, how to, thrive in a toxic work environment, how to really be comfortable in your own skin,
Mhm.
how to be in a male dominated industry and not feel intimidated and be able to still thrive and get to the point where you should be. And it would be a guide of so many things that I've been through in my life, from losing my parents to coming here as an adult, the culture shock, having to adjust, having to be in an industry where people told me that, I was disadvantaged being in because I was Black and I was a woman, things like that. I think to be more like that, a guide than a book.
Okay. All right. And what would the title be?
Oh, the title, well, maybe something in lines of, the singer, or I don't know, the engineer or the singer who missed her calling, or the engineer who who survived it all, but I would like to see, it's gonna be a fun guide, really, because I think that's one thing that we owe everyone around us, just being able to share our stories and our experiences, because you never know whose life you're touching. You never know who is going through whatever it is that you did go through, that a word could just be a source of encouragement to. So is really very important. I'm hoping that, the book or my life would be just will capture all of that, and also as I move forward, just help others. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that is awesome. I hope you had a great time today.
I did. I had so much fun.
Awesome. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed having you on the show. And audience, hopefully you picked up some things, you learned some things, you took some notes that you can utilize. But more importantly, I want you to share this message with someone else. Just click the share button. And just click the share button and let it go on to someone else. In life, messages or things sometimes are not designed for us. They're designed for us to be the vessel to share it with somebody else. So please share this message, whether you're looking on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. Make sure you go and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. We got some dynamic stuff that is there. Folks, the only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is extra. You see, and for all you educators out there and the intellectuals out there, I know the word is extraordinary. I don't like that word. I like extraordinary. You see, the only difference between winning and losing is belief. The only difference between hot water and boiling water is 1 degree. You see, at 211 degrees, water is hot. At 212 degrees, water boils. With boiling water comes steam. With steam, you can power a train. The only difference between a person reaching their full potential and not reaching their full potential is desire. So I need you to go put a little extra in your life and believe in yourself. Start saying things like, I can, I will, I'm already good enough, because he's already ordained it and said, you're already good enough. You're already ready for it. All you have to do is step out on faith and believe in yourself. So thank you for tuning in to Talk Leadership with Cedrick, Thursday edition. Remember, Monday and Tuesday night, we have Talk Leadership with Cedrick, and we're going to bring it to you. We have some dynamic guests for you next week. And guess what? Tomorrow morning, it is Friday, and at 8:30 Central Time, Friday morning means Friday mental motivation. And I'm going to bring it hard and heavy to you tomorrow morning. Quick 15 minutes of pain to help you understand how to live out the rest of your week and then have a great weekend. Tomorrow, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 ways of how to be happier in your own skin. So make sure you tune in for that tomorrow morning for Friday mental motivation. And as I always tell you, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and don't be on the menu. Thank you, guys. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thank you, and bye-bye.